Welcome to Trading Lounge and the SP 500 for the 27th of April, and starting with the S&P on the daily chart here. As you know, we've been looking at this market as from wave B down to wave C as wave 4 here, but we could never prove that until we have the evidence, and we still don't really have the evidence. But if we get 5 waves up, well, that will be a good piece of the evidence in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here. So making a new high here will give us that 5 waves, and that would cement this in here further as a wave 4. So that's well, that's just another step forward, whichever way we want to look at that. But let's just go in and have a look at this here. I mean, one of the first things that we can look at here is that we were looking from wave 3 was a little bit short. Pretty much the same length as wave A, which is a little bit unusual, but the Nasdaq was leading to the upside, and we were looking for a 38.2% retracement level, so that came in really nicely here for this wave 4. So it's really kept the structure quite nicely, so that just helps with the bullish count. Not that I'm stuck on either of them. I'm happy to go short and happy to go long. I'll just do what the market tells me to do. So at this stage here, we really need to see, our next step here is to see another, see that high come in here. That will help confirm that, and that will probably come in on the Nasdaq as such. And there's a lot of reporting coming in now, and there's a lot of support from, all this has been pegged by, I don't follow, I'm in Australia, I don't follow the all the news from the US, but the Feds came in here, the Treasuries came in here. There's been packages put out, went through Congress at $485 billion for Main Street. There's going to be another really big one coming in as well, much bigger, shortly. I don't know exactly when. I'll have to tune into that. But that level of money being pumped into the system is an old story, as you know, from 2008 as such. So that seems to be what's sort of going on here a lot. So we'll see. I mean, the manufacturing side of US, which in most countries will come out of the recession first, and most of the other consumer side things will lag and come out a bit late, top out a bit later. Let's just go in and have a little look at this here. So in a nutshell, we've been looking at this as wave 1 or A, and 2 and B, and 3 and C, and then back for 4 here. Wave 4 is rather small, and I have to say, compared to wave B here or wave 2, that raises alarm bells. That means that wave 4 here could actually be, have another little leg to it. So all of this down here could be wave A here, and then an A and a B and a C wave here for the B wave, and then down for the C wave. So I'm just pointing out possibilities of things to occur, and then up from that point there. I mean, I did count 3 waves down here, as you know, so that made it corrective, and this has got 5 waves in it, but it can still be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave for wave B, and then down for wave C. So it's another little thing that we need to move through. Obviously, there's going to be supplies at these levels here, just under the 2.9 area here, even before that, pretty much where all these little highs and low, the closes are through here. So around the 2, well, that will be subgroup 2. We can take a closer look at that, but there'll be 28.80, 28.72. So it's all of subgroup 2 in here. That's going to be a bit of a problem at that point. So we're working with the Fibonacci reasonably well. This moved up here to the 61.8%, a little bit above, and moved back down here to the 61.8%, just a little tad below that. And now we're getting this impulse wave to the upside. But like I said, it could be this all here could be just a wave B sitting in here. So it's just a little thing that we need to get through at this point. But yeah, I don't think the 2 hour chart, this is where I sort of do things too, but yeah, no, that's okay. That's not showing much there. So we'll just go to the hourly chart here. So when we spoke last time, you know, I counted 3 waves down here, but more importantly, I counted 5 waves up here. So that really gave us some confidence to look for the 61.8% mark coming down here when a tad lower, and now it's moving up. So everything continuing, we should see, you know, a move much higher here now. So we can look at, you know, wave 3 being up here, and wave 4 and wave 5 moving up through here higher in that case. Yeah, so you know, from this low here, this high to this low here, then this level here, the 61 point. Sorry, I'm just thinking at the same time. We're at the 61.8% here. So the more that we've developed support on top of this 61.8% here, which would figure out around the top of group 1 here, the 2830, then that would support further upside from that point. But certainly also too, finding support on top of group 1 here, then we would look for further upside. So one of the next tests here, it never found support here on top of the 30, so we definitely want to find it here. And of course, just recapping this here, we never really got to our short trades down here for this. So we're on the long side and moving into the 15-minute chart here. Need to move that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So we've pretty much got an impulse wave up here. So what I wanted to point out is that this corrective move here. So the other point here too is that the 28, this all of group 1 here, 10, 20 and 30. One of the things that we can look for is the 2820 becoming the support at this level. It may not pull all the way down to the 2800. A lot of the times it can just spike, find support on the 2820, but just spike down to the 15 area here and then find support back on the 20. But what we're looking for at the end of the day is we're looking for some sort of support sitting on the 2830, the top of group 1 here. You could also look to add on top of 2850 here. That would be the right thing to do as well. So if I just copy this here just to remind us, we're looking for a little setup in here to go long. And we're still looking for much higher ground here, but it is looking good because we've got an impulse wave, well, here as wave 1 and 2 here, and wave 3 would take us pretty much way up there, looking at things. So we're looking for a strong third wave after a pullback. So that's something to look out for. So we just need to work out that pullback in this space. Let's just drill into the tick chart. So 1 and 2 here. I was looking at this, probably not the right count. I'll just have to go back over this, but 1 and 2 here, and then all the third wave up here, ABC for fourth here, and then 1 and 2, and all of this is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 3, 4 and 5 here. But and we've got that impulse wave down through this section here. It's looking for support on 28.30. The market's done all the right things. It's had a reaction when it's got here. It's got the first high above the level. So we could be just looking at a simple ABC coming into this space here for this. I can't draw on this side here, but down through here. If it does come down through the 28.30, then this becomes a trigger to go long, and so does this one here. But essentially we want to see some sort of little pattern in here, and that can pull all the way down to here by the by. But I know kind of with the levels in this space here in terms of 10, 20 and 30, the average spike would come down to 28.15 to 28.20 area through here. So we really want to buy the pullbacks in this space. That's what we're after. And we have a look at the NASDAQ. It's got a better range moving up through here. It's moved up past its 61.8% from this high to this low here, which is about here somewhere. So it's moved up past that. It's got a nice corrective move back through here, and we're looking for wave 5 to move higher through here up into these old highs. So its wave count looks like this, with wave 1 here, wave 2 here, wave 3 here, a nice length in the third wave here, and wave 4, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 moving up higher. There is another count that just sort of crossed my mind a little bit, because this count works off this being wave 1 and 2 here, and I always thought this was a little bit dodgy here. So it's quite possible that this is wave 1 here and 2 here and 3 here in blue wave 3 and blue wave 4 here and blue wave 5 here. So if that's the case, I'll just go to this 2-hour chart. It's just something that I noticed, and it may not be the case, but it does play out well for this market, and this could be the same with the S&P. So we'll probably talk about this a bit more. So looking at this as 1 and 2 here, and then 3 and 4 and 5 here, because this makes a nice classic trading levels pattern coming into this space here. So we would have, which also means too that the corrective move up as wave A, B and C also plays out here as well, would be well above the 61.8%, but hey, B waves can take out the top. So I think we just keep it on board there for a little while, and we'll keep an eye on this count. We'll just keep it in the background, and I'll mention it now and again. But it does give this wave 3 here a nice length, rather than having this as 1 and 2 here and 3, 4, 5. It is expanding in its length each time, which is what you'd want in a wave 3. However, this has never really been a fantastic wave 1 and wave 2 here. It's always been a little bit iffy, so to speak. So I'm sort of wanting to address this situation now. It doesn't really stop us in a lot of ways, but it will just give us that nice classic trading levels pattern, where we've got the arrival here and then the reaction, the first high above the level, the correction, then back over here. So that would be the arrival here, the correction here, then 5 waves up to the first high above the level, coming up through here, and then having the ABC pattern here, and then moving back in. I think if we're aware of that, and this would be the same for the S&P, if we're aware of this and we can see it playing out like this here, then we'll know, we'll be fine. So moving in on this a little bit closer in through here, the way that I have it so far here is wave 1 and 2, or B and 3 and C here. This counts down as as 3 waves. So I've been looking at this, and this counts up here. This is a stronger 5-wave structure than this is a 3-wave structure. So I'm very happy, pleased to see that when we got that, and pulling back to the 61.8% and then moving higher through here. So we're looking for a move up to 9,000, the old highs here. This level here, the 8,800, is going to create a little bit of a dance across there. So you can use that as a trade setup in that space. Just onto the 15-minute chart. We don't need this as a short trade now, but that's what we were looking for here. And we're looking at wave 1 and 2 here, and then moving up higher through here. I haven't counted this here as yet, but it's certainly nice to see it touching the top here. Double tops are never the end of a bullish run, so that's something to look at. We just need to count this here, which I don't think that I'll do right now. But either way, no, I won't do it now, it'll take too long. But either way, what we're looking for here is a reaction at the old high here. So we know with the SP 500 that we've got all this up for wave 1 here. So that can be the case of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. There may be another little high to play out in here. I'm not quite sure, but we should see some sort of corrective move through here. And that's about right for the 61.8%. So it can, yeah, that's about right. So it can move back down into that space before it moves up. But it doesn't have to move all that way down. It could just come down to this area through here. So we'll keep an eye on that in the next session, and we'll try and find another way in. But looking for a classic trading levels pattern across the 8,800 here. We're looking for a pattern like that. Then that will be the trigger to the upside for further moves. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.